Hello and good evening, everyone. I am Gary Gatso, and welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 2 of the 2026 B Horizon IndyCar Series. As we come to you tonight from one of the most historic short ovals in all of American open wheel racing. It's in fact one of the oldest racetracks, period. It predates the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the Milwaukee Mile for the Taupe Soap 140. Mark Murphy is enjoying a well-earned vacation, so I am filling in tonight for the one and only time this season. So good to be here. As always, joining me in the call for the Horizon Series is Say Hey Lewis Hayes. Lewis, welcome to the Milwaukee. Bring us up to speed. We're only one race into this thing, and the points kind of reflecting how it finished last week with Treston the winner. And just eking out a win over Albrecht, who's looking for a big breakthrough win. And just lurking in the background there is the Prodigy.
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. We race one was at Homestead Miami Speedway last week, and we had an amazingly exciting race. Fortson was a winner. It all came down to gas mileage in the end between he and Christopher Albright. Albright took the lead going down the backstretch on the white flag lap, but eventually ran out of fuel between turns 3 and 4 and coasted down the front stretch, and Fortson actually passed him with about 300 yards from the start-finish line. So Indy Kirchenbauer came in third after being very fast in the third stint, but having to come in and pit for fuel. He was able to make his way back around and finish on the last step of the podium.
You see the points, basically how they finished last week. Fortson with the lead. He has, it's the best way to start up a season. It's something that he's done before over in the Votive Indy Oval Series. So he is experienced on starting the season off strong, but he needs to parlay that into a championship run. And how that goes into a championship run is a big way how his performance will be today. Chris Albrecht, is second. Indy Kirchenbauer is third. Brandon Stanton fourth. Mason Mitchum, John Steller. Primetime, the progenitor, Clay Kirchenbauer in seventh. The Jets in eighth. And then Domingue, hopefully I'm saying that right, Brandon. If not, this is the only time I have to do it this year. You can tell me how to say your name. I probably maybe say it again in the future, but yeah, if I'm saying it wrong, just let me know. And Sam Koster is your top 10 after one race as we are getting ready to line up here. And here is the schedule for the remainder of the season. And just want to, we'll sit there. We'll center the screen. There we go. As we see that we're at Homestead for 125 laps, 140 tonight. Then we go to Gateway, kind of an shortish little, almost kind of an intermediate short oval. That's the best way to put it. Then we got Road America for our first road course race of the season. Then New Hampshire Auto Club for the first super speedway. Iowa for the shortest track of the season right next to Richmond. And then we got Las Vegas, Kentucky, Pocono, and Indianapolis with Richmond there in the middle to round out the season. Between now and December, we still have lots of racing action. If you would wish to be a part of the Horizon IndyCar Series, there's the prize pool. You get a cool championship ring when you win the championship. And to learn more, I believe there's a link to their Discord server in the description, and you can learn more there. Let's get into today's starting lineup here from the Milwaukee Mile, America's historic 1 mile oval. And here is tonight's grid. On the pole, it's the Cats. The speed of 163.2. We're going to go an extra lap here on this formation lap. Gary Lovern with a great start, 163.1. Then we have the Prodigy in solid gold right behind him. And Mick Murray. I won't be like the NASCAR commentator, Mac Murray. It's Mick Murray in row 2. Then we got Smith and Wags on row 3. Reed and Primetime John Steller in row 4. Albrecht and Yari JB in row 5. Fresh off a podium finish in the Dark Horse Series, excuse me. Wade and Carroll, row 6. Campbell, Stockner on row 7. Clay Kirchenbauer and Matt Schlosser, who has a podium here in Formula Indy Series competition. And he did it on track pit strategy, and it worked out. Track position is everything at this place, Lewis. We'll see if he can maybe parlay that into that experience into a good finish here tonight. Staton and Fields back on row 9, and Hugo Gallas and Smith on row 10.
Another huge field tonight, Gary. I mean, it's very impressive to see this many cars out for an open wheel race, especially here at Milwaukee.
Yeah, and this is, we were talking about in the pre-race, this is more than what you would see for a real IndyCar race. When the real IndyCar series here, there's more on the racetrack. So we're going to be seeing lots of traffic tonight. Sarwick and Moore, Holman and Fortson, your points leader in row 12, Mitchum and Morales, row 13, Peterson and Teed, teammates in row 14, Carr and Iker Bagero in row 15. And that is your field.
One of the things we can look for early on, Gary, when they take the green flag, is this setup is going to be really loose for these guys for about 10 or 15 laps until the heat comes up. And then we should have some very good racing. But they're going to have to be very careful these first few laps.
Yeah, going to have to be very patient. It's a very loose. Oh, they are evasive maneuvers in the back as the field's still trying to get rearranged. Almost had a US 500 type incident on the backstretch. Getting ready to go green. 140 laps here for the Taupe Soaps. 140. Round 2 of the Horizon IndyCar Series 2026B season. Green flag is out, and we are underway as Fortson in the back is blinking. We go 3 wide, but the leaders are through 1.
Drivers, let's get to work. Everybody's successful through turns 1 and 2, headed down the back stretch.
Full send on the outside by McMurray. At the completion of the first lap, everyone minding their P's and Q's. They realize they have a handful here for these opening laps. Here are the track conditions right now, 112. So with 112 degrees, as we have 2 of the votive teammates side by side, I don't imagine they're going to race each other very hard this early. Indy down to the inside of his teammate, Gary Lovern, trying to get the pass.
Gary comes back on the outside, so it's going to make it a little harder for him than not just letting him go. I think Gary understands that every place early on is important.
Again, track position means everything here, so giving up 1 spot's one thing. He's not hemorrhaging a bunch of spots. We go back a little bit to Kenny DeJet Smith there in that Team Penske throwback with the Benson and Hedges Formula One livery of McMurray. That's Andrew McMurray. Hey, Andrew, we can get you an IndyCar livery if you need one, man. We have a history. We have over 110 years of IndyCar history that we can give you a paint job. I'm sure we could find one. Everyone tends to forget the first organized IndyCar races were held back in 1905. The very first IndyCar race of all places in Long Island. We could be calling this series the Long Car instead of IndyCar.
Chris Albright is taking a look up under Luke Reed, wasn't able to make the pass, and now has lost his momentum a little bit and is looking to be passed by Sheridan Wade. That's a battle for 10th, 9th, and 8th position.
You've seen Luke Reed starting to put better qualifying efforts in, and that's it's kind of, there's 2 feet to every time that you race a race. You have to qualify good and you have to finish good. He has definitely found the qualifying good here. Now he needs to get that other foot down and get those race performances under his belt as he loses a position. Caution on the racetrack. Hugo Gallas, Andrew Sarwick. Sarwick midway down the backstretch. And we're going to go back and take a look and see what happened here. And actually, it's Hugo Gallas already in trouble down the backstretch, coming off the corner. We'll go back a little bit further. I believe he's racing Nate Fields. Nate is showing a meatball flag. And the back end just comes okay. The back end just kind of comes around on quarter exit.
Yeah. And looks like we had a few more cars that got collected afterwards in that. Let's see who.
Sarowick is in one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brody Moore just worked his way through that. We'll go back a little bit and watch from Brody Moore's point of view. In fact, we might actually ride with him because it just got really tight back there. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good in-car for Brody Moore. Watch this. And, again, different lines through these corners. Very flat, 9 degrees of banking here. But you wouldn't know it when you're looking at the place. Right in front of him is Tristan Fortson, your points leader. And there's a car dead stopped in front of him down the backstretch in the exit. And then there's Sarowick, gets into the corner. He makes contact. Almost in the back of Fortson is Brody Moore. But he keeps it off him. And we are under caution right now at lap 9. So, do we see any takers the pit road very early on here? Now, we were talking about how the fuel strategy might play out, and this is for sure. It's not quite a two-stopper. We'll be doing 2 stops, but it's not 2 complete full stops. Definitely 1 stop, 1 complete full stop. And then that second stop is almost just enough to get you home and probably a new set of tires. Could we be seeing somebody, is it far enough into that race for that window to be open? We do see Mitchum coming to pit road. There he is. Also on pit road, Joseph Morales going to top off the tanks. Hugo Gallas going to get some more work done on his car. William Holman, he will come in and go for a new set of Firestone Firehawks. Unlimited tires here in the Horizon Series, so smoke them if you got them. And he'll come out with a full tank of fuel. So, if we go green now, Lewis, if we go green now through this stint, these drivers may inherit the lead depending on how much they push on this restart. If they kind of hang back, they might not be able to inherit the lead before, you know, when the leaders come to pit road. That Delta, of course, they might not be able to overtake the lead, but they would be picking up some track position. We're getting ready to go green. In fact, we're going green right now. Down the main straight is Durazo, Kirchbauer, Lovern, Smith, and Wags, your top 5. So where we see a competitive second strategy unfold here, early stages right here at Milwaukee Mile.
I think that's absolutely a possibility. I don't think they would have come in unless that was on their mind. So easy to get behind. There's so many things that you can do with this car, the IR18. You have weight jacker, front and rear anti-roll bars, brake bias, your hybrid regeneration. There's so many things that task a driver, and on a very, very fast, short track like this, it's very taxing. It's easy to get behind, and it can get you in trouble if you get your adjustments out of whack.
Now we're riding with the Prodigy, and we'll give you an idea of how much work he's doing in the cockpit. You know, keep in mind, look at the number there. That is the gear he's in. Goes to 3rd gear off the corner. In the 4th gear, probably prevent the wheel spin. In the 5th gear already. He might click 6, doesn't get there. And now he's down to 3 again. Now watch him hit these curves on the inside. That's the pit entry or the pit exit road there. So they're going to watch that during the pit stints. Go to the inside. Kirchbauer looking for the lead in 3. Down low. Not a lot of banking down there. The high side does get a lot of momentum, but he slams the door and gets the lead.
Daniel looked like he was trying to look and see if he could do the crossover, but wasn't able to do so.
Again, very busy in these cockpits, and you talked about it. Not just that they're turning left and planting their foot in it. There's more than that going on. That's why a lot of people think about IndyCar racing. It's just, you know, you plant your foot and you turn left, right? Just that easy. We see Cat getting a big run through turns 1 and 2, but loses a lot in the middle of the corner, and Indy pulls away a little bit. But you hear them. They're shifting 3 gear shifts a lap at least, or 2 gear shifts a lap. Oh, in the wall, Durazo way up top.
I was just getting ready to say that going up there in all that dirty rubber and debris can be very treacherous this early in the race, and it looks like he just got his right front in all that dirty material up there and lost it up into the wall.
He looks to be no worse for wear. Maybe just a little bit of a kiss here. Lap 17 now, 18 of 140. On top of working the gears in these cars and turning left and managing your throttle, they'll be managing their tools, their anti-roll bar, the front and rear, making it stiffer, making it softer. Then you talked about the weight jacker. And then on top of that, an additional thing that a lot of these drivers now have in the cockpit as of about a year ago is the hybrid, which allows for battery horsepower addition to the car for about a period of a second and a half. And then you have to regen in order to get more power back into your power unit to be able to use that again. So there is a little bit of a kind of a push to pass here. But part of that is using it, and then part of it is also regenerating it, because you don't have, well, you can use the brakes here a little bit, and there are some drivers probably out there, touching the brakes a little bit going into these corners. But the best way to regen is you hit the regen button as the Razzo up in the gray, up into the bumper up against the side of the wall. Now he's down low again, so he's trying different lines to reel in Indy, but Indy continues to hold on to this lead, Lewis. Looking through the lineup right now, none of those drivers that came to pit road really have done much. Mason Mitchum, who came to pit road, is the lead car in that group, and he's in 20th position. But this is a track, we talked about it, of track position. This is where track position means everything. And right now, the winner of getting the most track position, at least on the racetrack, is our points leader, Tristan Fortson, who's up 8 spots to 16th now.
Absolutely. And Mason, it's not unusual to see Mason running from behind. He likes to come from the rear of the field. As a matter of fact, he started 32nd on the field last week and came all the way for a 5th place finish. So he's not unusual for him to come from the back. But Milwaukee is a different animal than Homestead as far as coming through the field.
That is for sure. Milwaukee rewards mechanical grip, disciplined corner entry, and a driver who can protect the rear tires without giving away too much speed. Passing can happen on entry, but it needs to happen on entry. Otherwise, it's going to be the only way to pass is on entry, or the driver in front of you has a mistake. The driver who misses the balance really is going to pay big time in these cars. Ahead of this battle, Jari Brubacher, man on the move on the outside, and turns 3 way up top.
It seems like everybody has gotten those tire temps up from that restart, and we got guys that are searching down on that bottom groove and guys that are running up on the top groove. So those are really the only 2 options you have at this track, but everybody's trying to make something work. As you'll notice, number one, you just want to try to run where there's not somebody putting dirty air on the front of your car, because even though there is a lot of mechanical grip here, you still will fight the wake of the car in front of you, and it will hurt your entrance and exit off the turns.
Let's ride with Jari. We'll talk about that wake you're talking about. We'll hop into Yari's car real quick. Let's get into it. There we go. The wake. As you see, the car in front of him, that is Clay Kirchenbauer, the progenitor. So in this area, there's a low pressure zone right behind in the car. That's the draft area. But when you're talking about the aero wake, it's just like a boat as inside. That is Nicholas Stockner for a position, but it's just like a boat on the lake. It's if you look at Clay's car that I put a green dot on here. Now we got Stockner by, so it's actually a better position. Basically, he's cutting a hole in the air, and this area in between is nice and calm, but he doesn't get the air on the front wings to get the downforce. You hear him lift.
Matt Schlissler is up in the wall. He got into the back of Jari, and
that's why we heard Jari lift.
Yeah, he has lost the right front, and
let's watch and see what happens here as we go back on replay. And we are under caution, and Jari lost the front end, and we were talking about it. That aero wake, he lost the front end, lost the aero balance, and Schlosser just gets a big run on the outside and just clips him. And unfortunately, a guy that has a lot of experience in this racetrack, his day is done, as that is not going to be repaired in the pits, and we are under caution here at lap 30.
These cars have such a huge closure rate that it really, the reaction time is so minimal that you just, if somebody comes off the gas, you just don't have time to get on the brakes. Even if you do, you're probably in for a ride if you have to stomp on the brakes as well.
Yeah, let's. I wanted to. You made a good point, and I want to ride full speed with Schlosser here. And I mean, this is not an ARCA brake thing where he just didn't brake or anything. Basically, lifting in one of these cars with all the downforce, it's just like braking. And watch this; he just gets a big run here on the outside. And yeah, it's just a little bit of a lift by JB to keep it off the wall, and that sent Schlosser right there, and he hops the right rear and goes into the wall.
Yeah, and you mentioned the hybrid system earlier, Gary. The hybrid system almost works now to regen. It almost works like a jake brake in a truck. So when you get off the throttle, you actually have a even more deceleration than you used to in these cars, because you start to regen when you do that. So it makes that brake effect when you get off the gas even more pronounced than it used to.
Roger Ward is the all-time IndyCar race winner here at Milwaukee. That's a name you don't hear very often when you talk IndyCar history, much outside of places like Phoenix or Indianapolis or really some of the old-time tracks. But he has 7 wins here and still remains today as the all-time race winner here. For the longest time, Milwaukee followed up Indianapolis on the championship car schedule. 10 drivers have followed the Indy 500 with a victory at Milwaukee, and they traditional post-Indy stop. The most recent, people tend to forget about this one because he got the win in the Indy Racing League, but he was only racing one race in the Indy Racing League. It was Juan Pablo Montoya, who won one weekend in Indy in an IRL car and then came here in a kart car and got the win. And actually, it turned out to be Toyota's very first IndyCar win right here at the Milwaukee Mile. The Japanese manufacturers actually have been pretty good about getting their first wins at the 1 mile oval. Honda got theirs at New Hampshire, and then Toyota got theirs here at Milwaukee as we're getting ready to go green as we are at lap 32 of 33, and we didn't really see anyone come to pit road. The first car that the top 10 stayed out. Iker Peguero in 13th also stayed out. The first car that came to pit road and came back out on the racetrack for position is Nate Fields in 11th position. He came to pit road to top off and get a new set of Firestone Firehawks. So we'll be watching him as he tries to work his way back. Hugo Gallas actually passes him. So Hugo, we saw him sideways off of turn 2, Lewis. He is repaired. It looks like just a new rear wing and maybe a little bit of cosmetic damage. I don't think he had a lot of damage to the floor of that car. That's really kind of the damage we can't see. And he is back on the racetrack, and he's the first car that has come to pit road on the racetrack right now. So he's looking to, if he could just stay out here and maintain the position, and the top 10 just decide to run it out, he might actually inherit the lead if he can hold on.
Absolutely. And we have some pretty hard racing back here between Brody Moore, Brandon Stanton, back a little ways into the pack, 20th position. Guys are trying to take advantage of this restart and try to get as many positions as they can before the tires heat up.
Here's Clay Kirchenbauer down low. Looking for the position on the 64. That's Matthew Carroll. He dodged the bullet a little bit earlier this race. Kirchenbauer, see the momentum on the high side is enough to really kind of hold on here. That makes passing at this racetrack very difficult in this car.
Yes, we mentioned earlier Mason Mitchum. We talked about him being the back. He's worked his way up to 18th, presently trying to work that bottom groove and work his way forward, but he's battling right now with Jari Brubacher. And our winner from last week, Tristan Forson, is in 16th position, just ahead of those guys.
4 cars, nose to tail right there at the line. And then look at them use that little bit of a rumble strip there to before they get to the pit access road, pit exit access road, to help the car rotate a little bit. You hit these rumble strips, and that helps the car rotate. But if you hit them too much, it will really upset the car. A little bit behind them, Brody Moore now attacking Jari Brubacher to the inside of JB in the turn 1.
Really some good racing back here. You see them, they go down the straightaway and close up on each other. And then when they go into the turn, you'll see them fan out to try to find that clean air and be able to get across or through this turn. But some really tight, close racing early on in this run.
Back up to the point. Kirchenbauer is your leader. Durazo not letting him go away. Durazo has not decided on a line he wants to run on this racetrack. He's trying them all right now to try to run down Indy. Indy going low, but the cat going lower. The inside, down the backstretch. Wags on the inside of the Jet. Too wide in through the corner 3 and 4, and Wags clears. The league admin moves up to 4th, but not so fast, my friend. Here comes the Jet on the outside in that Team Penske Verizon livery, made famous by Will Power.
Kind of minding their P's and Q's up in the top 10, but back in 13th through about 17th or 18th place, we have a hornet's nest back here. These guys are mixing it up side by side, lap after lap.
And I want to thank our sponsor tonight of the cautions. We haven't mentioned that, but Elite Custom Covers. If you're looking to elevate your race team, business, or man cave, Elite Custom Covers specializes in premium, custom custom branded products. That's what I'm trying to say, including logo rugs, rubber mats, pop-up canopies, covered table covers. Want to have them all. Flags, banners, trailer curtains, tire covers, toolbox covers, more, and everything you need. Every product is custom printed with your branding and sponsors for a clean, professional look. You want to follow Elite Custom Covers. You want to follow them on Facebook. They're on Instagram and TikTok for the latest mock-ups and times for delivery. Let them bring your vision to life. That is the sponsor of the Yellows today. Cautions is Elite Custom Covers. A lot of C's, and I can't get them all out right now. I'm supposed to be off tonight, Lewis. I'm not ready to go tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say that's easy for you to say, Gary.
Right.
I tell you, Gary, this are we at Milwaukee? Are you sure we're at Milwaukee? Because these guys are mixing it up side by side, lap after lap. This is not a typical looking Milwaukee where you can kind of get caught in a one groove kind of deal. So it's a very exciting race for this racetrack.
And the best thing for this whole crew is to get into a long green flag run. And all of the leaders have been out there for 46 laps. So they are getting into, really, if they can get closer to that 70 number halfway and turn it into a one stop and a little splash at the end, that's what they'll like to do. I don't think they'll get to the halfway point before they have to stop. They are 47 laps in, so about 50 laps into their stint already to start this race. Well-worn Firestone Firehawk tires. Hey, if you enjoy P1's coverage of the Horizon IndyCar Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasting, including tomorrow night. We're going to be right back here for the Horizon 250, part of the Elite Racing League. Horizon will be sponsoring that race, and we'll be right back here for 250 laps. So if you think 140 is not enough, boy, we got 110 more for you tomorrow night. That's 7:45 p.m. Eastern right here on P1 and simulcasted over on the Elite Racing Network channel.
You know, Gary, I was thinking when Indy took the lead there last week, when he got out in the lead, he was able to gap the field quite a bit, so I thought we might see a little more of that. But actually, Daniel has said no, and Gary has has also said, no, we're not going to let you get away this week like we allowed you to do last week. So, but I do see the Indy is not too far away from some lap traffic, so we'll see what kind of interest that will add to the race. See how easily it is for him to get around that lap traffic.
Yeah, and we'll get to one of these P1 airship pictures. You can't quite see Sarawak. He's off camera, but he will be in the picture here relatively shortly. He is 1.2 seconds up the road from our leader, Indy Kirchbauer, and so that is within the window for these cars. It's about a second and a half is the window, the draft envelope window for these cars. That's where you begin to get the pull from the draft, and that's also where you get the cost of the draft, which is the aero wash, and not be able to handle through the corner. And Cat up into the wall. He had the lift. Lovern to the inside. Cat's not going to give him a lot of room. He's going to force him down low. Lovern going to run through the corner. Lovern will close the position, move him up to second now based upon the mistakes. I talked about that. Mistakes happen. Here comes Cat to the inside. Cat's going to try to get that position back. A very aggressive move. If they don't look out, they're going to be too busy racing one another. Here comes the wily one, Wags, as he's going to try to get to the position. Takes a look to the inside on Durazo, but can't quite get alongside. He got a peek there, letting Durazo know. So Durazo now has to decide. He's going to have to defend on two fronts, attack up ahead and defend behind.
Now you can see the amazing run. They get down the straightaway, and probably using the hybrid a little bit also, they get a huge run, but they just can't make it stick when they get to the corner. And if you get in that dirty air, you can risk losing the front end and getting all the way up into the wall or worse.
Let's ride with, Durazo in the wall again. He is having, Lewis, he is having a hard time with that end of the racetrack. He just really cannot seem to get through the very high side of 3 and 4. He's all over the place in terms of lines, but on the high side of 3 and 4, he's been consistently up top.
Yeah, well, we're probably in that point of this run where the tire, that right front, is probably pretty angry with how it's been driven for the last 20 laps or so. So I think he's starting to pay the price right now with trying to keep pace with Kirchenbauer those first few laps.
Ride with the Cat as he is not handling very well in the middle of the corners. You can hear him really get out of the throttle to try to get this car to rotate. He's probably working the brake a little bit too to help get the car clips the inside of those curbs. And Wags is now pulling away, and Wags taking a look to the inside of Lovern, and he takes a stab at it into 3 and 4. Lovern up high. Lovern could have his teammate go down and give dirty air if he wanted to Wags, but Indy holds his line now back in the 1 and 2. Wags starts the entry high, comes down low, will have a run off the corner in the draft of Lovern. Lovern staying in the draft of Indy. Nose to tail right into 3 and 4. Different lines. Look at those different lines through the corner. Each car different line, getting clean air on the front wing. And a Cat says, I've had enough. I'm coming to pit road. Scheduled stop for the Cat. Let's take a look at these tires when he comes to pit road. Green flag pit stop at lap 61, so 10 laps shy of the halfway point. And that's a pretty, that is a moderately worn. I would do one of these. As you see, it's nice and shiny now, so when it's nice and shiny, it's one of these. Nice and smiley. But that was a very worn, I've seen more worn, but it's a very worn right front on Durazo's car.
Yeah, and obviously following behind Indy all that time, Indy's got clean air, and running in second place behind him in that dirty air, it's going to wear his right front out a lot more than the leader. Wags was taking a look there for second place, was able to get up under Gary, but wasn't able to make it. And here comes Wags into the pits.
And again, want to thank the fine folks at Taupe Soap for sponsoring portions of the series and this race today, the Milwaukee 140. make sure to check out their line of IndyCar head sculpt soaps. So if you need to jump in the shower with Pato Award, it might be easier just to get a head sculpt from Taupe Soap to do that. And they're sponsors of today's race. There goes Matty Wags off pit road. Links in the description if you would like to get your own head sculpt of Little Dave or Pato. And Durazo almost jumps Wags, and now he's going to have nice and fresh tires. Goes to the inside. This is for position on the same pit strategy, and Durazo goes to the lead. Watch the inside, getting crowded there. Kenny Smith coming off a pit road with the other cars coming around him, trying to dip their tires onto the apron there. I think Luke Reed is now making the move to get to the inside to come to pit road for his scheduled stop. Lewis, let's talk about coming to pit road at this racetrack. Very, very hard to do. It is like threading a needle to get on the pit road. It is not a very big exit entry at all. Entry point at all.
It's treacherous. Is the best way to put it. I mean, one wrong move and you've got a wall to the inside, you got that wall to the outside. It can end your day in a hurry.
Let's ride with Indy and see when he comes to pit road, and maybe we could demonstrate this. It's a very quick move, and it's a very narrow entry, especially at this race. He's slowing down. I think he is coming in. Here he is, Indy Kirchbauer for a scheduled stop, and look at that's the hole to get. I mean, it looks a lot easier than what it is, but when you're traveling at 180 miles per hour, and then you have to get everything down, manage your car to get it down to 45 miles per hour on pit road, hit the button and everything. One little miscalculation there, and you're in one of the tire barriers, and that's the end of the day. And his front tire is very used up.
You don't really have a good visual reference either when you're coming around turn 4. It kind of sneaks up on you.
Caution on the racetrack. Sheridan Raid into the grass on the inside on the exit of 2. And let's see what happened. And he is only 4 laps into his stint. So this is the window that you talked about, Lewis, where you said these cars early on in the stint are a little unwieldy. And we see him come off the corner, and he's already loose going into corner entry. He's not even loose on exit. So I don't know, maybe he didn't reset his tools or something from the stop, and he just noses into the inside wall very gently. But that's actually a big deal for Indy, because he hits pit road during the caution, so that works out to his advantage right at the midway point of this race.
Yeah, and Sheridan Way does have a left front wing that's going to need to be replaced, but it looks like everything else, his wheels and stuff, are okay, so hopefully the crew can replace that quickly for him and get him back out.
And so we watch him come to pit road, and that's actually a pretty fast repair. There it is. He's getting a new wing on. It's about 5 seconds, even under green conditions, that a new wing can be slapped on a car. And real IndyCar racing is just a couple of quick release screws, and then they throw on a new wing. And the crews and the engineers do a pretty good job at making sure that those wings in real IndyCar racing have the same settings that are on the car during the race. And Yari just misses his marks. He does a little bit of a backup and parallel parking job. Luckily, this is under caution. He's going to lose some positions, but the damage is minimal. So again, I want to thank Elite Custom Covers for sponsoring us again during this caution. And we are right at the halfway point. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate you being here. We have ourselves a big week of racing here on P1. Don't forget, tomorrow on the Elite Racing League, right back here at Milwaukee for the Horizon 250 presented by Taupe Soaps. That is going to be right here at Milwaukee for 250 laps, part of the Elite Racing League in their 2026B season. And for their 3rd race of their campaign, Matty Wags, admin here, is a former winner of that series. He won a season ago at Motegi. Much like the finish you guys had in the Horizon at Homestead. He outlasted Alexis Newsom with a little bit more in the tank coming to the checkered flag. That's tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. Then we have AMA on Thursday. The Grand National Series also will be running. They will be at Iowa. And then the IIS will return. This is Portland week in the NTT IndyCar Series. We'll be at Portland 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then we will be at Texas for the votive first ever Texas doubleheader. Starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the Twin Texas races. Part of rounds 3 and 4. Actually, 2 and 3, excuse me, of the votive Indy Oval Series. Green flag back out. This is Lovern, Fields, Campbell, and Gallus. Gallus did not come to pit road. He stayed out. Actually, he did come to pit road. I'm sorry. He's 2 laps into the stint. But that track position he picked up by staying out is paying off now. As remember, he was sideways off of 2, and he's racing his teammate Mason Mitchum off the corner. But the team votive cars, speaking of votive, are 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, that caution just was timed aptly for Lovern. He had not come in and will inherit the lead. However, Indy and Matt Wagner, who pitted under that caution, are stuck back in the field now because of that.
So it is Lovern, Fields, Campbell, Gallus, and Mitchum, your top 5 here, just past the halfway point. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Hit the bell so you know when we go live again. It is Lovern leading some of his first laps here in the series. His racecraft is picking up. He's now, again, I talked about 2 feet on racing. 1 foot's are qualifying. You get in there and you start putting down some qualifying laps, improve your starting position, and then the other foot is bringing that car home to the end, and he is putting both of those together. We've seen him put together some good finishes in the Dark Horse Series on Sunday in the DW12s. And he is currently your leader right now. Nate Fields running him down in 2nd. Wayne Campbell in 3rd. Mason Mitchum in 4th. Hugo Gallus 5th. John Stellar. Prime time? It is prime time, and here is prime time to the inside. Both the shiny votive cars, red and blue, inside, and prime time move him up to P5. There's Tristan Fortson Lewis, our winner from a week ago, and he's got himself in position now that he might look like he started way in the back and he's blinking. That's his biggest problem right now. He's blinking, but he didn't look like a player earlier in this race. So remember, he started way in the back. He was in the 24th starting position. He is now up 17 spots.
Yeah, he's right where he wants to be. He's in the top 10. He can save some of this stuff, maybe save a little fuel, and look for him to continue to move up.
Look at all the cars behind this group. Different lines.
You know, Gary, this track is not, in my opinion, probably is not as much about speed as it is about handling and making those tires last for a good long run. The fastest car at this track doesn't necessarily win, because just like Indy and Matt, you can see those guys were clearly some of the fastest cars on the track, but just because of an unlucky pit strategy, now they're stuck in the back, and it's going to be hard going for them to get back up front.
And again, it's so 3 wide, and 2 of those cars are teammates, and 2 of them are fathers and son, Indy and Clay. And father and sons have raced here before, the Andrettis and the Unsers. In fact, Mario had a heck of a wreck here that pretty much prematurely ended his 85 season when he lost the rear wing down the front stretch when his rear tire came apart. Caution on the racetrack. McMurray, I believe. Yes, in the Formula One livery.
He just did a slow spin, lost the back end coming off 4, and got into that wall and attenuated a little bit with the front wing. looks like that may be, luckily, all the damage for him.
Let's see what happens to the inside of Sheridan Wade. He comes off the corner, and that's, kind of hold that line down too long in these cars, and that entry, a loose off entry. And then he just tries to lock him up, and he gets luck as he reaches the wall, and that's when the wall angles in. But I think he might have net coded a little bit and did damage the front wing, so he will have to come to pit road anyways. Into Benson and Hedges Formula One livery and come to pit road and get that changed. But unfortunately, it will cost him some track position. But we're back under caution, sponsored by Elite. Make sure to check them out in the description for custom covers, your custom print job needs. You have a logo that you want to put on your table, or you want to hang a banner in your man cave, you want to check out Elite Custom Covers.
Gary, we were talking about throwing the possibility to Elite of having some of these guys take their iRacing livery and have like a banner made with that car on there. That would be super cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
And it's cool to have those guys involved with us here in Horizon, in the online racing world, because those guys are involved in the real motorsports world. And so it's really cool to have a sponsor like that that's involved in the real world, now involved with online racing. It's super cool to have them involved with us.
So we watch McMurray come around as he's repaired. Back under caution up front. Gary Lovern is your leader. Want to check out Taupe Soaps, the new and very unique sports collectible. A hand soap in the form of your favorite race car driver, if you like Pato Award and David Malukas. It's the first soap available. Pato Award was the first. Now they've added David Malukas. Go to taupesoap.com. 6 different colors, fragrances now available to commemorate. Now he has Pato. Now has 7 wins on the IndyCar Series. Got that win earlier this season. So to add to that total, so get an exclusive buy one, get one offer they have at their website. You enter the code Horizon, and you can start your collection today of 2 of the young guns in the IndyCar Series. Head Sculpt Soaps. Check them out. Taupe Soaps, sponsor of the Horizon IndyCar Series and the Taupe Soap 140 here at Milwaukee. Green flag is out. Lovern, Fields, Campbell, Mitchum, Stellard. Top 5. Lap 88 of 140. Well, further back, there's the battle right there.
Yeah, we have some new players up toward the front. After these cautions, it's allowed some of the guys that were running a little further back in the field to make their way to the front.
So everyone is now roughly 17 laps into this stint. Now, everyone that stopped at this last caution, Albrecht is one of those, Luke Reed, Jari Brubacher, they might be good to go to the end, I think, and they don't have to stop. The only thing that might be slowing them down if their tires wear out. You got wow, teammates racing our points leader and the Cat, who started up front, just on the outside. Like he's Michael Andretti, gets the position and passes the points leader. Tristan Fortune, Cat, move the Cat up the P8. Cat is stalking a win here right now. Had a rough first stint. He is back on it right now. Lovern, the leader, and that's really the best thing for Lovern, Lewis, is he just has that clean air in front of him. He doesn't necessarily have the pace and everything. He's not like setting any fast lap times, not like Andy Kirchbauer is. He has the purple lap at a 1:59.5. But the benefit of Gary is he could go wherever he wants on the race course right now because he's dictating the pace because there's no one in front of him, and he has all the clean air on the front of that car.
Absolutely. The advantage that he will have, it's much easier on the right front The disadvantage is if this suddenly happens like last week to turn into a fuel run, he is not saving fuel like the guys that are behind him, though.
That is true. And when you're out there in the lead, you're punching the hole in the air, and then everyone behind you can follow. 3 wide through the quarter behind Wags in the middle. Brody, they get it straightened out. That could have gone bad, but they good racecraft with these drivers. Watching Wags now as he goes down to the rumble strips there in the pit access road off of turns 1 and 2 to get the car to rotate. Clay Kirchenbauer, the progenitor, and P11 up top, getting a big run on William Holman to the inside of the Monster Energy Dallara. Here comes Clay. He's going to send it in there, and he's trying to clear him. They're going to come off the corner side by side down the backstretch. Clay's still there, but Holman going to get the draft from the car in front of him. Now Holman on the outside. He'll have the momentum. Clay giving him a lot of room, and Clay tucks back in line. While they're racing, though, Wags running this group down.
You know, Gary, it's amazing. There's racing from one end of this field to the end of the field. They go down the straightaway, they're all tucked together, and then they fan out into 3 or 4 different lanes as they go through the turn, and then somehow they accordion back into that one single lane as they go down the straightaway. It's very, very close and competitive racing that we have tonight.
I've seen these cars use all different lanes in this racetrack. I remember we did an Oval Series race here at Milwaukee, and for some reason the setup, everyone was on the high side, right up against the wall, all race long. It was the weirdest thing. And then we've seen races where you can't go low because your car gets too loose down there. You had to run high and middle. Then we saw races that you could only go low. So this racetrack offers a varied amount of racing depending on the setup as we watch this battle here with Reed and Smith and McMurray, who has a new front wing here. This is a battle for 17th, 18th, 16th, 17th, and 18th right now in the mid-pack. They're racing like it's for the lead in the mid-pack here.
Yeah, absolutely. And 9th through 15th is racing like it's the last lap of the race. It's some really, really good, respectful, but close and competitive racing that's going on.
And coming to 40 to go next time by. We reach the 100 lap mark inside. Again, Wags and Holman. Wags trying to give all the room he can to Holman. Holman goes way high through 3 and 4. Wags down on the white line, and he was clear. He could have done a Brazilian clear on him and in a Brazilian slide, but he doesn't. Being a nice guy about it. Now he can slam the door if he wants to. Not quite. Still racing off the corner. Trustin could come down and help his teammate with the draft a little bit, but no. Matty Wags is clear.
And while that action is taking place, we've had a pass for the lead as Nate Fields passes to the low side on Gary Lovern and makes that pass easily. So maybe Gary has decided that maybe he wants to fall in and run second for a little while and save a little bit.
Little watch right here. He comes off a 2, and Nate gets a big run. Right in the draft, hits the little bit of the hybrid, I would imagine, going in the inside. And Gary doesn't look like he really fights him too much. That's okay. And you're right. He's in a position maybe that he's looking at the numbers and sees that if he could save a couple laps, he might be in a fuel save situation. So it might be better for him. As they always say, discretion versus valor in IndyCar racing. And just because you get past doesn't necessarily mean you're in trouble. There's a lot of other strategy that's going on. This is chess, not checkers, chess. You're playing the long game here in IndyCar racing, and if Gary thinks that he could save on a lap or two to get home without stopping again, he is 32 laps into this stint. Can he go another 37? He went 63. Actually, Nate Fields went 63. Lovern went 71 in his last stint. Now, that included some caution, Lewis. But if he can get some caution and he can save some fuel here, number-wise, he's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think so. And I think what we're seeing is he got a call from the pits and said, we need you to save us some fuel there, big guy, because Nate has not driven away from Lovern, so I think that's what we're looking at here. Is he's possibly going to fall in here in second place and ride behind him a little bit and try to save a little bit of that fuel that he lost while he was out in the lead.
And Nate might be thinking, okay, I got the lead, but now I'm kind of in the same boat too. Nate went 63 last time, and do you lead or do you follow? And he decided to go ahead and lead, but I'm thinking he's not pulling away. And we got a caution on the racetrack. I believe it's McMurray again. Yes, in turns 1 and 2 as the pace car comes back out. And now this is an interesting situation because if you couldn't make it, now you come to pit road, and all of a sudden this is no longer a fuel mileage race. Sarowick, bangs the inside. JB loses a front wing. And this is exactly the situation I was talking about with Mario Andretti that happened here. The rear wing's down, and watch the back end of the car, and he plows into that, and right in almost the same spot, exactly as Mario Andretti, right almost to a T. Now, Andretti bounced off the wall. They didn't have safer barriers back then. Basically broke his back, and had to miss Michigan the next week. The next couple of races, he had to miss, but it was kind of one of those incidents that kind of got everyone and Mario thinking about, maybe I want to start thinking about retirement. And that's an incident like that. He backed it into the wall. Another reason why these Indy cars have attenuators on them. Watch this again. That is crushed material. The wing is down. He might not know it's down. He turns. There's no rear downforce. And yes, go on YouTube after the race, 1985, I believe, 1985. Milwaukee 200, Mario Andretti. He was driving the red Beatrice car, the Lola, sponsored. That was in the first year or two, I think, of him riding with Newman Haas. And he banged it into the wall right in the same spot as Andrew.
Yeah, so interestingly, Serwick and those guys were kind of pinballing off of each other down the straightaway, and he loses his rear wing, and when he goes in to take that left-hand turn into the corner, it just comes around on him.
Yeah, I don't think you don't really get a message. You'll get a message on your heads up that you're getting an X, but it's not telling you what's damaged. And you might be able in these cars to know when you lose a front wing, but you really don't know when your back wing folds.
Right.
He would need somebody to call that out on the radio, and then for him to really back it down, because the rear wing produces thousands of pounds of downforce, and all of a sudden have no rear wing, but you still have the front wings producing a couple 100 pounds of downforce that take over. I mean, you're going to be instantly loose in the corner, just like you saw, but he had no way of knowing really that wing went down.
Yeah, Brubacher was very, very fortunate that he didn't get collected when the back end swapped around and went into the wall. He was very close to getting collected in that, so very, very lucky.
Getting ready to go green this time by. Big lead for the pace car that Nate Fields is giving. A lot of leeway. He's going to bring the field down slowly. Big gap back to Mason Mitchum, but a good start for Fields. Lovern had a good start. Not a great start for Campbell. Mitchum in fourth, John Stellard in fifth. So the votive cars and the votive team showing up in second, fourth, fifth right now on the racetrack.
Mason Mitchum drops down to the low side and looks to make a pass for third place, but can't do so. And you have to remind, when you come out of the pits, those first few laps can be very, very loose with the car. So got to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble down there.
A wide exit for Campbell. That's going to allow Mitchum to go to the inside. Again, want to thank Elite Custom Covers for sponsoring tonight's caution sessions. If you're looking to elevate your race team, business, or man cave, Elite Custom Covers specializes in premium custom branded products, including logo rugs, rubber mats, pop-up canopies, table covers, flags, banners, trailers, curtains, tire covers, toolbox covers, and just about everything else you can think of. Every product is custom printed with your branding and sponsors for a clean, professional look. Follow Elite Custom Covers on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest mock-ups and times for delivery. You can check them out to bring vision to your life. All the links you need are in the description. Caution! And big wreck off of 4, and we have 3 cars involved, one of which is William Holman. Another one is our points leader, Tristan Fortson. Championship implications with this incident off of 2.
Yeah, big damage to Holman's car. He's missing, his rear wing is damaged, and he will tow to the pits immediately.
Let's get a better angle here about what happened. We'll zoom in a little bit. And Holman, the McDonald's livery. Oh, and Tristan just gets in the back of the 41. Made kind of famous by a couple drivers, specifically Seb Bourdais, who actually has a win here at Milwaukee, a couple of wins. And yeah, we just see Tristan getting in the back. Yeah, he just, I guess the 41 wasn't going in front of him. That's Iker Peguero. Yeah,
it actually looks, you know, just kind of a educated guess, but it looks like the 41 started to lose the back a little bit and had to try to collect it, and Fortson did not have time to avoid and just went right into the back of him.
And Peguero's day is done, and I think we will see what happens with Tristan Fortson. He is on pit road. He has a new front wing, so he is back repaired. Holman, I believe, is towed. He is done, so that looks like a retirement. Brody Moore also is showing a meatball flag on pit road. Iker is back on the racetrack, so he may have been repaired. He is well down in the order right now, 4 laps down. 20 cars on the lead lap still. And the last car is Tristan Fortson, but now we're at 25 to go, Lewis. And, well, the point situation is still very fluid. And in fact, I can bring it up on the screen, and it's not going to make, really, the points I'm going to show you now are not going to make any sense here in about 24 laps. Because those that are looking to gain the most are kind of buried in the pack right now. But here are your points as we came into this event. Fortson it just got involved in the incident. He's the last car in the lead lap and 20th, Lewis. Then we got Chris Albrecht. Albrecht is in the 9th spot. He's actually in the top 10. Indy Kirchenbauer, he's in the 11th spot on the border of the top 10. But he still has a ways to go. Brandon Staton, he is actually doing, there he is. He's in 14th position. Primetime John Stellard, he might actually be the one, him and Mitchum in 5th and 6th in the points might be the two looking to gain the most out of this. They're in the top 5. We're green flag here for a sprint to the end. And we got a caution already. That is Nate Fields having a problem on the start-finish line. He spun the tires. He kept it underneath them, but it caused everyone to check up.
And we are still green. We are not under caution.
We'll watch this again. And this is, again, warm tires, light tanks, and he just gets on it. And you don't see this an awful lot in the IR18. You see it a lot in the IR05. And he gets down out of the way. And the fortunate thing for him, almost up into Lovern. Lovern was running out of room. Oh, that's a primetime John Stellard, excuse me. We'll get back to racing here. But now we're on the precipice of 22 laps to go. And I did that with the freaking points on the board. We're going to watch that. And we're cautioned again. Good. We could bring it up. Let me go back and watch. I got too much going on. So let's go back and watch Nate Fields. And we're going to go back about 30 seconds here and watch this again. We're going to go back in about 10 seconds. And again, apologies on that. Just a lot of going on here. We'll get this overlay going. But here is, here, we'll go back to a blimp overhead view. And there's not a really good view on this at all. We'll go to tower cam here and zoom in a little bit. But this is just wheel spin on light tanks and worn tires. And you just see that he loses. Now, the thing for him And watch this next car on back. Watch this red car right here. That hole was closing rather quickly. But anyways, he loses only a front wing, so he's fortunate that we're under caution right now. So, and I think maybe iRacing forgave him. So he got the wing back, and then he was able to bring his car up to speed, but he lost a ton of positions. So we're back under another Elite Custom Covers caution right now. And Nate Fields was up among the leaders, and now he's well back in the pack. So this is going to be bad for him because if he would just kind of kept the car under him, Lewis, he was looking at a pretty good finish.
Yeah, actually, exactly, Gary. And the reason the caution did come out was Nicholas Stockner had come down pit road to make a pit stop, and on his exit, and this exit of pit road can be very treacherous, he just spun the rear tires and spun out onto the racing surface, and that was the cause for the caution to come out this last time.
Okay, so let's get back to what I was pointing and do a reset there as we see one of the cars. They do have lucky dogs enabled here, so one of the cars getting the lucky dog and coming around. I think that's Nicholas Stockner. Oh, no, he's on pit road. That Sheridan Wade? There, it's Sheridan Wade. Yep, he's getting the wave around right now, so he'll rejoin the tail end of the field. Gary Lovern, and I've been talking about it. He's been putting in the good qualifying efforts here recently. And then on top of that, he's starting now to put in the race efforts. And he's really commanded this race today. Here he is. I mean, he's led 41 of 122 laps today. So he's led a third of this race to this point. He's been the leader. He is now 18 laps away from what I would consider a big breakthrough league win. We don't see Gary a lot on the top split broadcasts on Monday or Tuesday here on the channel, but we kind of see him as a league racer, and he's been just getting better, getting the racecraft. Iron sharpens iron in this car. The more you put into this car, the more you get out of this car. And we see him, the work is starting to pay off, and he's about 18 miles away from getting that big breakthrough win, much like Rasmussen did here about a year ago with Ed Carpenter Racing. He's looking for that big breakthrough win too. So, I mean, what do you think, Gary Lovern, the chances of him getting the win? On top of that, Wayne Campbell, he's looking for his first win. And then you got Mason Mitchum, a veteran that would very much like to see, and we'll get the graphic off the screen here as we're getting ready to go green. He would very much like to see these top two get into one another and pick up a win. Oh, and we're spinning the wheels again.
Now we have some.
Oh, Chris Albrecht, the back wing's
back.
down. The back wing's down. And there he goes. He spins just like we saw earlier, and he almost cracks another car. And we are under caution, and you called it.
Yeah, there was just a huge checkup toward the back of the field, and very unfortunate because there's nothing those guys can do when they're expecting to go and the guys in front stop. There's nowhere to go.
And we'll review that restart. The best is the blimp because you can really see the gaps. And we got meatball flags for Luke Reed, Stanton, Albrecht. Where did the stack up occur?
Right out there.
Stanton has a black flag, and I don't admit that might be a result of what happened on the restart.
Yeah, and just like the circumstances before, Albright probably had no clue until his back end swapped around on him that his rear wing was damaged.
Oh, and Kitty the Jet Smith. Oh, Treston's in it again.
Yeah, he had a great night last week and was very fortunate for the win, but he's definitely finding trouble this week.
And Holman sneaks his way through there. Yeah, there's I don't know if these black flags. I think the black flags got removed. Holman clips it, but he might be forgiven if we see that wing grow back. There it is. Yeah, he's forgiven. So he and then we see just more carnage right now. So right now, this is it. These are just freebie laps for Gary Lovern. This is just making his job a little bit easier. Just I can pace this thing under 50 miles per hour and not have to worry about being passed. He'd very much like it to be over. I mean, 15 laps here is 20 seconds a lap. it's not a very long time, so he'd like to probably get this thing over with. But Lewis, he's on the precipice of getting a big first-time victory here.
Yeah, he is, and I've raced a good bit with Gary. He's a super guy and a great racer. So, I would have to say that he's one of the fan favorites to get a win here tonight. So, Milwaukee started out actually as a 1 mile horse track. So, what horse are you picking tonight, Gary, in these last few laps?
And yeah, it was used to be dirt, and then they paved it over. It was one of the first paved 1 mile ovals, and showed up on the IndyCar schedule. But it was dirt, you're right, for the longest time. Of course, this is at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. I am not going to put much past Mason Mitchum and John Stellard, and I just know they have a ton of experience. They're teammates. Now, you talk about teammates. They're also teammates to the leader. So we got votive cars at first, second, fourth, third, and fourth. Are they going to play rear gunner? How long will they play rear gunner? And then when do the gloves come off?
Here we go, green flag. We're going to find out.
Lovern with a big jump.
Huge jump.
Yes, yeah. Great jump. Up by 6 already. 0.6 of a second down the backstretch. Here comes Wayne Campbell trying to run him. Car sideways off a 2. That is Matthew Carroll. And we are not cautioned. We are cautioned. And there again, you just see him low on the racetrack, and the back end comes around. JB, again, threads the needle. Everyone goes to the inside, and he needs to lock those tires up. Yeah, everyone just kind of splits them. But again, this is just bonus for Gary Lovern. But he's also,
as they say, Gary, cautions breed cautions, right?
Yeah, and that holds true for IndyCar racing as well. And Gary's got to be thinking there, come on, guys. I mean, as much as he wants to lead these laps, and as much as these are easy laps to lead right here, he's thinking, come on, guys. I mean, every time they go through a restart is another opportunity for something to possibly happen to him.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially when he got such a great jump. I think he at that point was just like want to run these last few laps out. But every time we see the caution flag comes out, it means he's got to re-rack them, and he's got to make that perfect start every time. If he spins his tires, those guys behind him are going to jump all over him.
Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of Round 2 of the 2026B Horizon IndyCar Series from the Milwaukee Mile. Gary Lovern currently leads and is looking for his first career victory here in the series. He is leading Campbell, Mitchum, Stellard, and Durazo, your top 5. Next race for the Horizon Series is Wednesday, August 19th. You'll have Murph back in the booth. Things might work a little bit more smoothly with him. 8 p.m. Eastern time when series heads to Worldwide Technology Raceway. I prefer to call it Gateway for Round 3. P1 also has a big weekend ahead. The IndyCar iRacing Series races at Portland Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, followed Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern by the votive Indy Oval Series for the Texas Twin 175's day-night doubleheader. That is Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget tomorrow night. Also, we will be simulcasting on the Elite Racing Network. They will have a 250 here, the Horizon 250, presented by Taupe Soap here at the Milwaukee Mile. And also AMA will be running at the same time. So you can pick your poison. You can watch Indy cars or you can watch stock cars. And you can watch the stock cars of the AMA at Iowa for the Iowa round of their championship. So 10 to go. Lights are out on the pace car. This is when you're earning the opportunity to go to the pay window to get the big check. This is, and look at the lead he's giving the pace car. The pressure's on.
Yeah, this is going to be full push from the restart to the finish, and let the best man win, because it's going to be hanging it all out.
10 to go. He gets to dictate this start. That's why he's up in the top lane. He's going to wait. 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 He's really going to wait. He's waiting. There we go. A little bit of a twitch. He's on it. And we're going to sprint to the end. Less than 10 to go at the mile for the Taupe Soap 140. Round 2 of the championship. Lovern by 5/10 off the corner down the backstretch. Still leading into 3 and 4. Campbell's not really wheeled him in yet. Here comes Mitchum. Primetime John Stellard staying high. Durazo looking low.
Everybody's being cautious.
Here comes Indy Kirchenbauer. Look at him go down to the access road. And they're starting to have some marble collection down there. Clay Kirchenbauer to the inside of Hugo. Teammates going into 3 and 4. Meanwhile, up front, Campbell's reeled him in a little bit, only by a tenth of a second. 8 to go, now 7 to go. Kirchenbauer, purple lap here in the closing stages. Is it too little too late? A 161.5.
Yeah, he's making or trying to make the pass on Wagner, and looks like he's going to do so.
Matt's not going to like that. Of course, he just won. He just won on the mile oval at New Hampshire in Dark Horse this weekend. He's their points leader.
Indy's not done. He just makes the pass on Durazo, and Durazo does the crossover and looks low on him.
Yeah, but look at the
going to have the momentum.
Indy pinched him a little bit down there, and he got the momentum that had to cause Durazo to lift. And here comes now their teammates, Wags and Durazo, so you don't want to make contact. And on top of that, Kirchenbauer in 5th. Stellard's his teammate. You don't want to make contact there. But I would imagine with 5 to go at the mile, the gloves are off. Down the front stretch, Gary Lever coming to 4 to go. 4 miles here to get his first win.
I tell you, the fastest car on the track is Indy Kirchenbauer, but it's going to be a little too late, I believe. He is absolutely coming to the front, but just going to run out of laps, I'm afraid. But don't tell him that.
Three to go. And now, this is when we hear Paul Page talk about it in these races. It's when the drivers start hearing these noises, clinks and clanks. Well, now, this is a sim. We don't necessarily hear that. But
yes, you do, Gary.
Here's Mason Mitchum now is applying some pressure to Campbell. So this is a rear gunner, 2 to go. This is the rear gun situation that really Lever needs as he starts to pull away by 7/10. He just needs to hit his marks for another lap and a half down the backstretch. In the 3 and 4.
And here comes Indy. Indy coming in. Indy may not of this yet.
White flag out for Gary Lovern, looking for that maiden victory one more time around the oval. White flag out. Look at Indy again using that access road down the backstretch. Lovern clear by 5. Clear by 5, clear by 4 now. Now he has pressure by his teammate being applied to second place. Coming off the corner to turn from home. Gary Lovern will get his first win of the series. Wayne Campbell comes home in second. And Indy Kirchenbauer is going to be your new points leader as he comes in with another third place podium finish. 2 in a row to start the season for the Prodigy.
Congratulations, Gary Lovern. Well earned. What a great run tonight. We had a few stumbles along the way, Gary, but it was an extremely exciting race once again this week.
Get a drink, relax, and then we get to see some first victory burnouts for Gary Lovern.
These races go by so much quicker when you're in the broadcast booth than they do sitting behind the wheel.
He doesn't do any burnouts. He does it like he's Barry Sanders. He acts like he's been there before. I like it.
Old school. Old school.
Here are your results here for the Taupe Soap 140 from the Milwaukee Mile, the Horizon IndyCar Series Round 2. Gary Lovern getting his first win here in the series. Wayne Campbell in second. Indy Kirchenbauer in third. That's a key finish to the points championship. Mason Mitchum, he's going to do well in the points. He's going to move up a little bit. He's now in fourth. Matty Wags, top 5 for the admin. Not too bad. John Stellard in 6th. Dan Durazo, 7th. We have Clay Kirchenbauer in 8th. Brandon Staton in 9th. Luke Reed in 10th. On to the page 2, Jari Brubacher, boy, he had a day of people just bouncing all over him. He comes home 11th, Nate Field in 12th, Chris Albrecht 13th, Andrew Surwick 14th, Sheridan Wade 15th, Stockner, Morales, Carroll, Gallas, McMurray, your top 20. Holman, Piguero, Smith, Fortson, Your points leader coming to this, just a race that he really wants to forget about. Brody Moore, Matt Schlosser, Gavin Smith, Peterson Teed, Carr. And that is your 30-car lineup. So an excellent showing tonight. Appreciate everyone that showed up.
I tell you, he hasn't gotten on the podium yet. But the first 2 races of the year, Mason Mitchum is showing that he's here to battle for the points lead. He had a 5th place finish, 3rd place that was just wiped away in the last straightaway of the race last week. And this week with a 4th place finish, he's letting the competition know that he's here for that championship bid. And truly, nobody probably passed more cars than Mason did tonight.
I know he's watching. We always have, when I do the booth with Luis Gonzalez Nunez, we have the LGN driver of the race or the driver of the week. And I got to believe that in the spirit of the LGN award, we have the Say Hey award. And the Say Hey award, I think, has got to go to Mason Mitchum. Typically, the rules of the award is the driver with the most spots made up that doesn't finish on the podium. And that's exactly Mason Mitchum. Finishes 4th, 21 spots that he improved here.
That's incredible, especially coming that far through the pack here at Milwaukee. But last week he went 32nd to 5th. So it's something that is becoming his MO. I kind of want to tell Mason, what would happen if he actually started in the top 10.
Put some effort in the qualifying.
Yeah, let's put a little practice into that qualifying setup, Mason.
Let's go ahead and check the interview booth here.
And this is back-to-back 3rd place finishes for Indy.
Yeah,
this
is going to be good for him, and he's going to be. On one hand, I know he wants to win, and that's what he wants desperately the most, is to win. But I know very much, as someone that came close in the Dark Horse Series, getting a championship there, and I think that was truly a race between experience and relatively newness of Indy and everything, and Murph with the experience, got the win there in that championship. But Indy, I'm thinking now that he's seeing the benefit of just putting these finishes together. Let's bring in Indy right now. Joining us in the booth is the prodigy Indy Kirchenbauer. Congratulations, man! 2 podiums in a row to start the season. I was telling Lewis, I know you want the win, and you drove that last 5 laps like you really were trying to get up there and catch Gary. I don't know if you would have caught him, and I don't even know if he would have been able to pass him if you got him. There was only 5 laps to go. But you were using every inch of the racetrack, including the access road coming off of pit road and turns 1 and 2. But the key thing out of all this is another podium finish. And now you're more than likely, we'll wait for the points officially to be updated. I think you're going to be the points leader. And that's the key thing. Becoming the points leader this early in the season, you're setting the mark for everyone.
Yeah, it's nice to still extend my streak of never getting off the podium in Horizon. And I think this is my 10th or 11th race, so that's cool. And yeah, it's just, I knew pitting there would be a risk with those late yellows, and then it was just, I knew that I had the pace to get up there, and we finally were able to do a green in that last 9 or so laps, and I was just tear through the field the fastest I could and to get up into that podium spot. And yeah, it's just, I knew whenever I pit, I think it was about 25 laps to go, somewhere around that range where I pit for those tires. I knew that I'd have a good chance, even though it was hard to pass when you're on equal tires. But when you got those freshies, there was big tire wear, which would have made it a pretty good race for the win there between me and Gary. And yeah, it's just disappointing that we cannot resist from pressing the throttle when the green flag waves out.
Go ahead, Lewis. You had any questions for Indy on the bottom step here?
Hey, Indy, good to see you again this week. Another great race, man. This is the second week in a row where arguably you were the fastest car on the track. That run, I thought you were completely no shot there at the end, but you were so fast with those new tires. Uh, that you probably could have gave Gary a run for his money if you had had maybe one or two laps left in the race. But for the second week in a row, unfortunately, it seems like pit stops are the only thing that's kept the fastest car from being in the winner circle. So last week you had to pit for fuel. This week you pitted, and unfortunately the yellow came out right afterwards and put you back in the field. So other than having some tough luck on pits, you could have earned 2 wins already this year. So how does that make you feel?
Yeah, for sure. I don't like yeah, it's just need to work on the strategy instead of saying I could have won. I need to go, how could my strategy be better? So it's just yeah, I was on that last stint right before that yellow came out at I think it was about lap 70. I knew that it would be a field save to make it to lap 70, and I was mat 5 half throttle, um just big lifts in the corner, 70% throttle down the straights. I was even doing that while leading the race at the beginning. And yeah, it was just trying to save the gas, and I barely got to lap 68, and then I'm just down pit lane. I see the yellow, and I just got put a lap down. So yeah, it's just that was disappointing, but then worked back up through the field, and then I decided to um I was having to save fuel while I was working up the through the field, and yeah, so I was just mat 5. I got a bunch of positions, and then I was able to just get back up to then I just wanted those tires, and I was the first one on those tires, which I knew would be an advantage. And yeah, it just sucks that the yellows were timed when they were, and yeah, I was looking forward to this race. Wags let some of the higher points finishers from last season choose a track, and this is the one I chose. So I was very looking forward into it. So and then this unfortunately had to happen. So I just I just yeah, just kind of disappointing.
I kind of figured you'd be like that. On one end, I think you're kind of happy for the third, but I know that you really wanted to win. In terms of how you convert these efforts, this is your 11th career start in the Horizon IndyCar Series. Each one of your 11 starts, unless the stats are wrong, have resulted in a top 5 and a top 10. And 2 of those have been wins. So I think there might be some people out there that would definitely enjoy to switch spots with you with that level of success, 100% conversion rate for starting and finishing in the top 5. Congrats on that. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone I want to say hi to before we let you go.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my go-kart sponsors, BGM Marine Associates, make something on YouTube, Bayside Comfort Heating and Cooling. Thank you to Votive Racing. Thank you to everybody, all my teammates on Horizon. Shout out to Gary for the great win. And yeah, those stats aren't wrong. I think my worst finish in this series is third. So I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong though.
We will do a deep dive on your stats later, but congratulations, Indy. We'll see you at the wherever the next race is. That next time we'll see you in the lineup, but congratulations on the podium tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
That is the prodigy. Still learning out there. Still learning. Now we got second place, Wayne Campbell. So I believe this is his career best finish, I think. So we will bring in Wayne. Here he is. He'll join us in the booth. Wayne Campbell joining us. Congratulations, Wayne. Had yourself a nice night. Got some track position on a little bit of strategy. It paid off for you. You started 15th, improved 11 spots to come home in second. Not quite the pace to run down Gary there at the end. And yeah, I think he might have had a little bit of a tail gunner kind of helping him out a little bit with teammates. You're kind of a bit of a handicap match, and you didn't really have the steel chair equalizer to kind of help yourself out. But still, one of your best finishes in the car and one of your best finishes in the series. Congratulations. Talk about the race and bringing it home second. A heck of a shootout there at the end.
Thanks. Yeah, it was pretty hard to pass. So for that first stint, I was kind of fuel saving just to see if I could, maybe a caution comes out and I, get good position from that. So I did that, and that paid off. Then I started somewhat up front. I think I might have came out. I think it was like 5th or 4th or something. I was with Mason. Mason was fun to race the entire time. Then yeah, just put the laps away. They avoided a lot of the chaos in the race by starting up front. So that was probably a good strategy call to, make a fuel save to be up front. Yeah, most of the race I was just kind of trying to keep pace. At these short tracks, it's really important to be kind of consistent over the whole race and not do anything too crazy. So I was just, working with my bars, keeping the car pretty balanced, and yeah, came out second.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Hey, Wayne, this is Lewis. Just a great run tonight, man. A really sneaky run. You're a very quiet second place. I don't think we even mentioned your name much throughout the broadcast tonight, but here in the end, as they say, the cream rose to the top, and there you were. So I know you talked about making adjustments and stuff. What were some of the adjustments you were able to make to be able to get yourself from that mid-pack starting position to the front?
Yeah, most of it, I feel like the track definitely, I felt like got hotter. So it was more loose. So I was lowering the, wait, which one is it? The rear. Lower, so it's all like memory by now. I don't think about
Muscle
it.
memory.
Talking about it. I don't know which one it is. The rear one. But yeah, moving the bars so that your car kind of doesn't step out on exit, because that was a big problem coming out of the 4th. So I actually had or negative weight jacker at the end. And then going into first 2, I would put it on 0 or +5 to try to get some sort of run. Again, it was really hard to pass. And for a lot of that last stint, I was just fuel saving, and then the numbers kept getting better and better as there were more and more cautions. So it definitely became easier and easier to make the target. And by the end, we were just actually fuel burning because it was just done. Yeah. And then Indy almost passed me right at the end. So
yeah, he was
a freight train. I was scared. I saw Mason behind me, and then it was like the last lap, and I'm like, wait, who's that? And then Indy's like, all the way to the bottom. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna lose second here. But got a good run out of 4th. So.
Well, that is your first. Go ahead, Lewis. Finish it up.
I was just going to say, if it makes you feel any better, Indy did admit that he did have fresher tires than you guys. So
oh, he definitely did. Yeah. I knew Mason and Gary had the same pit strategy as me, and I saw Indy. I'm like, wait, I think it was him and Matt that may have pitted, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, he needed maybe 2 or 3 more laps, and he may have been able to make some noise.
Yeah, less cautions, and he might have won this thing. So.
First podium of the finish of the season. This might be your best career finish here in this series. I'm trying to recall those stats.
Yeah, I think I got 3rd one time in Area 51, I believe. So yeah, I think this is my best finish.
So congratulations there. So I imagine you got some shout outs that you want to get out there. Sponsors, friends, families, any loved ones you want to say hi to, go right ahead. You earned it. This was not an easy race at all. So take the time you need.
Yeah, just shout family for letting me do this, and try some family watching, maybe a week later, but they'll see it when they do. Then you shout out our sponsors, Taupe Soats, 40 Racewear, these custom covers, thanks for putting on the league. And you guys for broadcasting, of course.
Congratulations on the podium, the second place. Hey, you know what they say, finishes lead the top 10s, top 10s lead the top 5s, top 5s leads to podiums, and you start getting podiums, that's what it ultimately will lead to wins. So maybe there's not a win maybe there is a win not too far off in the future, and that's what you just got to keep it up and doing. And we've been seeing you putting in the work, and it's paid off today with a P2 here today. Congratulations. We'll see you in a couple I think next week when we head to Gateway. Until then, man, go celebrate this big finish.
Yep, thanks guys.
That is Wayne Campbell finishing second. Let's see if we get any update in points. No updating points, so I don't know if there's anything under review. So just consider everything you saw unofficial right now. I don't know how quickly he normally updates those. But we will now take this opportunity and bring in, there he is, Gary Lovern, joining us been after a victory. Got it today. It's not a milk drinking victory, but as much as you drive the IndyCar, you might just want to go ahead and have it and enjoy some milk because it's about as much deep tradition at this racetrack that there is at Indianapolis. Congratulations. I'm glad I was there to call your first big win. You got it down in the books now, and you've definitely come a long way. We saw you when you started in this thing. You were in the back of the pack, and then you started working in the mid of the pack, and now all of a sudden you've been putting down burners for qualifying and starting up front there, and we just said it's the matter of time getting that other finish, that other foot to come down, and that's the finish foot, and get those finishes to match what you're doing for qualifying, and that came today in spades. Congratulations on the win, my friend.
Oh, thank you, man. I tell you what, I needed this. It's just I've retired recently, and I just haven't been in my sim that much, and my racecraft has really shown it. And man, this race here will definitely do a lot for my confidence.
Well, let's talk about the race before I toss it over to Lewis to ask his question. You led a lot of that. How much is track position matter at this racetrack, and specifically your track position of just having nobody in front of you so you could kind of dictate the pace? So I want you to talk about that. I also want to talk about that one point in the race when you got passed for the lead. Was that planned that you were going to tuck behind him and kind of try to extend your run, because we started running the numbers, and if you went green, it was going to be kind of close there. So we weren't sure if you were going to be able to, so you were trying to save there. And then also my third question on all that, if you can remember all this, is how frustrating was it there in that last 15 laps where you just want to rattle these things off and get that win, but as soon as you come up to speed, caution, come with the speed, caution, come with the speed, caution. I mean, they were giving you free laps to lead, but it was like that. It was murder to probably delay the inevitable there. You just like, let's get this thing over with, boys.
The setup was awesome. I got to really hand it to Andrew Sorowek, who did the setup. It was great. I mean, running in traffic was a little difficult, dirty air, but passing, it was hard to kind of pass down low. Once you got in clean air, it was wow, And as far as letting Nate Fields get by, I was not going to make it on fuel. Running out there in clean air, and the teammates, everyone talked about just let Nate get in front of you and save some fuel. And I'm glad I did, because after that, I started saving fuel where I pretty much had enough to finish the race, especially with all those cautions at the end. Really, really helped me out. But yeah, that's what definitely got me the win.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Hey, Gary, man, I'm just super excited for you, man, to get this win. I know definitely how hard they are. Just a podium itself, much less a win. But
definitely, yeah.
We raced a good bit together, and so you definitely earned this one tonight. It wasn't a fuel mileage deal. It wasn't something that you just snuck into. But I just want to ask, how loud was your spotter screaming to you about Kirchenbauer coming those last 5 laps? Did you know that?
Man.
Did you know he was closing on you as quickly as he was?
I was watching him and Wayne Campbell both. I think I drove out of my rearview mirror the more than I did out front.
So if it had a couple of more laps, do you think you would have had anything behind him?
Yeah, he had fresher tires. He definitely would have caught me. If we wouldn't have had all those cautions, I think he definitely would have caught me. That kid, I tell you, he's something else.
Well, I just want to say congratulations, and now that you've knocked the top off of this one, hopefully there's more to come.
I hope so. Thank you, Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that first one is always the toughest one. I'm always reminded of Greg Moore, of when he was always so close, always so close, always so close. And then when he won that first one, he would just win. It became a regular thing for Greg Moore. So maybe that's all that it just takes for you. And before we let you get to the shout-outs, I probably should shout out your team as well, because a great day for the votive team. First, third, fourth, 6th, 8th. So you had 4 spots there in the top 10. That was all the VRL team. So, I mean, not only a great day for you, but a great day for the team. Kind of coming up all voted today, coming up all Gary today. Congratulations. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to? Like I said, you've been waiting a long time, so you've earned it.
Yep. Yeah. First of all, I want to thank Votive, Shane Coker, and my teammates. They're a great bunch of guys. Very talented, very supportive. Great bunch of guys. Great. I mean, a lot of fun to race with. Want to thank Matt and Horizon League. It's a great, fun league. I want to thank all the sponsors for Horizon, 4D Racewear, Taupe Soaps, and Elite Custom Covers and Communications. Thanks to those guys. And for you guys for a great job that you do.
Well, I try. I only doing pinch hitting duty today. So Gary got to call Gary today. That's about the cool thing out of all this is I got to do that. But I'm only pinch hitting today. I'm going to hand over the reins to Murph because I didn't even know we were sponsored by 4D. And if someone would have told me that, I could have tell you everybody go to 4dracewear.com where you can get their line of shoes, race apparel, and gloves, and drive like Gary Lovern sometimes. So make sure to check out their link. I don't think it's in the description, but 4dracewear.com. But Gary, congratulations, my friend. It's good to see you get that big breakthrough win. We hope to see more of them. Go celebrate, go rest, and enjoy the evening. Don't party too hard.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Gary Lovern. I understand. It's like 3 old guys in the booth right there. We all understand that being retired and he probably worked pretty hard for this one. And I don't, and then Indy, he's 14, 15 years old, probably didn't even sweat at all in any of that. And we're all 3 of us up here sweating watching Gary win on that one. So good to see an old guy come through at an old racetrack, kind of echoing the winner. But Lewis, you're going to write a post-race write up on this. I can only imagine what it's going to be. I can't wait to read it. But talk about America's favorite 1 mile oval race course, and Gary Lovern gets the big breakthrough win here. It was kind of stop and go and herky-jerky at times, but we brought it home for a pretty exciting finish and a drama-filled finish. It's always good to see a driver get their first win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for Gary. And also, the race was spectacular. I mean, when you have this close racing with this large car count, you're going to have some mishaps. I mean, if we didn't have any, the guys just matter of factly wouldn't have been racing hard enough. And it takes me back to a fellow online racer who was a real world racer that we both know, Richie Hearn. The respect he had for this racetrack. He made a comment to me one time during a race that we were having that Milwaukee was the track that he feared the most. A guy that raced in Indianapolis, that raced at all these fast tracks, but he said Milwaukee was the most feared track that he went to. So that puts it in perspective, I think.
He told me Disney, but he told me Walt Disney World was the one that he feared the most. And if you see the construction of that track, I don't blame him. But this is yeah. I hate T-Bell's nickname for him, but he calls him the Sultan of Sketch. But Rasmussen, I mean, he had to have a big set in order to pass Pelot on the outside and get the win that he did there. And I think it takes a lot of bravery. And obviously, you're right. This is not an easy place either in real world or in the sim. But good to be in the race in the booth with you for this race. We'll see you at the next one. But let's get on out of here and give everyone back. I want my Wednesday night back. I was supposed to have a night off tonight.
Yeah, we'll be back on the air August 19th at Gateway. So that'll be Horizon's next race.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And I want to thank Taupe Soaps for sponsoring today's race and also parts of the Horizon IndyCar Series. Make sure to check out their website, taupesoaps.com, where you can get yourself a head sculpt of Pato Award or David MILWAUKEE. So get it on Dave before he gets that win, because I imagine after Dave, when he gets that win, it's going to be like Gary here. They're just going to come fast and furious, and all of a sudden the MILWAUKEE's head sculpt soap is going to be tough to find and is going to be selling for hundreds of dollars on eBay, I'm sure. So make sure to get your Taupe Soap head sculpts of IndyCar drivers, Pato Award and David MILWAUKEE, on their website, and do it today. I want to thank them for being sponsors of the series and of races this season. Also want to thank again Elite for coming on and everything that they're doing for the series, being the sponsors of the cautions. Maybe they didn't want as many cautions tonight, but we shot them out as much as possible. Remember, you can get your premium branded products, including logo, rugs, rubber mats, pop-up canopies, table covers, flags, banners, trailer curtains, tire covers, you name it, toolbox covers and more. Just follow Elite Custom Covers on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and they will bring your vision to life. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here from the Milwaukee Mile for round 2 of the 2026B Horizon IndyCar Series for the Taupe Soaps 140. Gary Lover getting that long first win. He gets it today at one of the hardest racetracks to really just conquer and win. He does it here, and he does it, almost leads half the race. He kind of really dominated. Gets the win. Wayne Campbell, best career finish here in the series. And Indy Kirchenbauer, another podium, and I believe he's going to be the points leader. I don't think the points have been updated. I will check one more time, and then we'll get on out of here and give everyone the rest of their Wednesday back. Oh, we do have points. Points have been updated. And they are... Here we go. Indy Kirchenbauer is your leader by 11 points over Mason Mitchum. So we kind of called it. We knew those two would go up in the points. Mitchum goes up to second. He has 1 point better than Christopher Albrecht. Chris Albrecht falls one spot to third. Wayne Campbell jumps 9 to fourth. Tristan Fortson loses 4 to fifth. John Stellard maintains 6th position. Then we got Stanton Wagner, Papa Clay in 9th, and Gary Lovern up 20 spots to 10th. So he's now a player in this championship. So that is your top 10 heading to our next race here in a little bit when we go to Gateway. Join Mark Murphy, and as I mentioned, join Mark Murphy and the Horizon broadcast team again in 2 weeks on Wednesday, August 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, when the teams and drivers head to a worldwide technology race, as I like to call Gateway, for round 3. Again, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time for the correct broadcast time in your area. You can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and there was a ton of you watching. There's a ton of you watching right now. Hit that subscribe button, would you, for me, please? It doesn't cost you a cent, and it really helps the channel. So please hit that subscribe button. We really would appreciate it. Our next P1 broadcast is tomorrow night, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. AMA Grand National Series. They will be at Iowa. Also simulcasting at the same time with the Elite Racing Network, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be the Horizon 250 presented by Taupe Soap right here at Milwaukee in the Elite Racing League. Horizon's going to sponsor the race. Me and LGN will be simulcasting here on P1 and also on the Elite Racing Network. So you have your choice tomorrow night. You want to watch IndyCars? 7:45 right here. You want to watch stock cars? 8:20. We're also right here on P1. Don't miss it. P1 broadcast that we mentioned. Also, don't forget, this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, IIS. That's the IndyCar iRacing Series from Portland. And also, 8 p.m. Eastern, Votive will be at the Texas Motor Speedway for their Twin Texas 175 day-night doubleheader. That is 8 p.m. on Sunday. Again, want to thank Taupe Soaps and Elite for sponsoring today's race. Track cans for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cans. Get the most out of your racing experience with Whiplash Sim Cans. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook. You can follow them on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree. All the links you need are in the description. So, for Say Hey, Lewis Hayes, who did an awesome job today, Mark Murphy, who did absolutely nothing, but he's on vacation, everyone here with the Horizon IndyCar Series, 40 racewear, Elite Taupe Soap, everyone at P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying all. Good night. Thanks for watching. All the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again Wednesday, August 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time from Gateway for the next race of the Horizon IndyCar Series right here on P1. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.